Ancient Rome. Marble temples. Roads that still exist. Aqueducts carrying fresh mountain water across entire valleys. The most advanced city the Western world had ever seen. Also, a city where the correct, normal, everyday thing to do with your dinner scraps, your broken pottery, and, on a bad night, the contents of your chamber pot, was to open the window and let gravity handle the rest. Both of these are true at the same time. And honestly, that might be the most human thing about the Romans. Let's be fair to them first, because they did have some genuinely impressive sanitation. Rome had a sewer system, the Cloaca Maxima, the greatest sewer, one of the oldest still functioning sewers on the planet, originally built to drain the marshy ground the city sat on. They had public latrines, long marble benches with rows of holes, where you'd sit shoulder to shoulder with total strangers and just chat. No dividers. Roman pooping was a social activity. There was even a communal sponge on a stick for cleaning up afterwards, shared by everyone. I'll let that image find its own way out. So they weren't clueless. But here's the thing about ancient Rome, the fancy plumbing mostly served the ground floor and the rich. And most Romans didn't live on the ground floor, or anywhere near rich. They lived stacked in towering, rickety apartment blocks called insulae, several floors up, with no plumbing at all. So when you needed to get rid of waste, you had two options. Carry it all the way down flights of stairs in the dark. Or open the shutters and vote for chaos. We know exactly how common the window method was, because the Romans wrote laws about it. There were specific rules about who was liable if you dumped something out a window and it hit a passerby. If you got clobbered by falling waste, you could sue, and the law worked out how much your dignity was worth. Now think about that. You do not write detailed legislation about people getting hit by airborne garbage unless people are, routinely, getting hit by airborne garbage. The law is the receipt. And the garbage had to go somewhere. A lot of it went into the Tiber, the river running through the city, which doubled as a highway, a water source, and the world's least appealing rubbish bin. But my favorite piece of Roman trash is one you can still climb today. It's called Monte Testaccio. It's a hill in Rome. A proper hill, about 35 meters high, that you can walk up. And it is made, entirely, of broken pottery. Specifically, the smashed remains of roughly 53 million olive oil jars. The big clay containers, amphorae, that oil was shipped in couldn't be reused because the oil soaked into the clay and went rancid. So for a couple of centuries, Romans just stacked the broken ones. Neatly, actually, they organized their garbage mountain. And it grew, and grew, until there was a literal hill of ancient trash that has now got grass on it and its own restaurants built into the side. 2,000 years later, Rome's rubbish is a scenic viewpoint. And this wasn't a Rome problem, really. It was a city problem that nobody solved for a very long time. Cities everywhere drowned in their own waste for centuries. London didn't get serious about it until 1858, a summer so foul they named it the Great Stink, when the smell of the sewage-choked Thames literally drove Parliament out of the building. 1858. That's how recently we figured this out. So here's where we land. We love to imagine the ancients as one of two things. Noble marble statues, wise and clean. Or filthy savages who knew nothing. The truth is funnier, and far more relatable than either. Rome built aqueducts so good they still stand, and threw its trash out the window into the street below them. Brilliant and disgusting, at the exact same time, in the exact same city. Which, if you've ever seen the kitchen of an otherwise very impressive person, might be the most honest thing history has ever told us about being human. Civilization was never the absence of the mess. It's just the ongoing, losing, 2,000-year argument with it. And Rome? Rome was losing that argument with incredible style.